Tonight we have an up-and-coming pitcher. He's a little leaguer, plays for the Houston Astros, Tucker Bowen. So Bowen, Tucker.
Hello everybody and welcome to Lee Jordan Field as we get ready for a battle atop the ABL between the Matsu Miners and the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. I'm Sean Meek alongside Reese Lennon, and we're here in Chugiak to bring you today's game as the Miners are looking to clinch home field advantage for the playoffs with what would be a win today. For the Miners, are going to have to be going up against Zach Sundine for the Chinooks, who pitched not too long ago, but he's returning to the bump again today, and they're going to be asking a lot out of him.
Yeah, Sundine comes into this game with 55 total innings pitched, by far the most on this Chinook club. He's allowed 53 hits and walked 22, has turned in 39 strikeouts, comes in with an ERA of 2.59. His best appearance of the year actually came against these Miners back in, I believe, June, in a 5-0 win where he was dominant through 7 innings.
Miners last night, though, had the upper hand in terms of pitching. Their starting pitcher, Darwin Matos, made it through 14 with no hits before handing it off to the bullpen and letting them finish it off with Alex Majors. Miners, for today, have a similar lineup, but they're going to be looking to mix a little more diversity in with their bat before this playoff rest week. It's going to be leading off Holden Breeze at second base. Tyler Wilson in the 2-hole is going to be in center field, and Casey Rother back in the hot corner is going to be batting third today.
Defensive alignment for the Chinooks: left, right, center. In the outfield, Keller, Bats, Ferris. Infield, left to right, Fullerton, Mullins, McCormick, Sheck. Pitcher, catcher, battery is Zach Sundine and Joe Keel.
So Holden Breeze, the first one up for the Miners, had a solo home run in the first at-bat of yesterday's game for the Miners. He'll be looking to try and get the Miners off to a similar hot start here. Putting this one on the ground almost immediately, right to third. Fullerton, late throw, but able to get over there in time, and that's their first out.
Fullerton fumbled the ball, but the ball was hit so hard at him, and he was playing in on third base. That was an easy play for Pate Fullerton.
We didn't see Fullerton in the lineup yesterday for the Chinooks, which is interesting. Their choice to go with Joe Brazil, and obviously showing a nice return here. We also saw a few errors from John Mark Mullins yesterday at the shortstop spot. Not something we're used to seeing from him, so maybe adding pressure to the left side. Sometimes starts him off with the strike. Miners are going to need to get some offensive production in a game where they're putting Tyler Wosner on the mound for his first start in the Miners appearance. He's appeared in their exhibition game, but not an official ABL play just yet. And that one's inside, so no put-away pitch there.
Wilson batting from the right side here, the switch hitter.
That one also high, a little closer to the zone, but getting some favorable count. Their last game also saw a bit of an expanded zone on both sides. Today we're going to see if there's a different approach, as this one's put on the ground off the mound. Mullins has it. Throws over to first in time. Barely beat him out by a step, but that's their second out on 2 men up.
It'll be Casey Rother now, who comes into today's game hitting .297 on the year. 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. He's walked 12 times, struck out 15, so pretty even ratio on that front.
And he's been teetering around the 300 batting average for the majority of the season, so it's going to depend on when he gets hot to see if he'll be able to finish above that for the year. Starting out with the strike here, Sundine is locating well to start the game off. Here's the second pitch. This one turned on, put into the gap, and that one's going to get down for the first hit of the game for the Miners. Able to get in front of that is Will Batts to keep him at first, but Casey Rother gets the hit starting early.
Once again, we apologize for connection issues. It's not the greatest service out here, to say the least, but hopefully that you can at least hear us and there's some semblance of video.
Yeah, if it's a little everybody who waited. We appear to finally be back. We had a bit of an issue with the internet crashing here, but in the meantime, we do have a 1-0 ball game as the Chinooks were able to strike in their first inning, but it looks like the Miners are going to be able to do the same, but never mind. That's going to actually go off of Kevin Nakamura. Now we have runners at the corners, but we previously had a double steal attempt, which was surprising with Mike Ferreira going from first to second.
Yeah, he got thrown out easily going down to second. Nunez moved up to third. So it's first and third now, 1 out. And bottom of the order, David Bermudez coming to the plate.
This is a huge spot for the Miners. Definitely need to avoid the double play ball, but more than anything, chance to tie it up early here with a Chinooks team that seems to be pretty hot on the bats right now. Sundyne has looked pretty good against the Miners so far, but this is definitely the best that they've seen him so far this year. 3 hits already in the first 2 innings, and there's only 1 away.
Nunez reached on an error by Mullins at short, and it was a bloop hit to right by Ferreira. And then obviously the double steal, Ferreira thrown out, then Nakamura hit by a pitch. That pitch misses upstairs, 2-0.
So now a 2-0 count to David Bermudez, who's looking to get the scoring started early for the Miners. That one called strike. Maybe trying to work a walk here, but Bermudez did have some success in last night's game. He's going to be looking to really start amping up his offensive production as we get closer to the playoffs. Starts running towards second, but Nakamura's going to have to return to first base.
Ball fouled off, and now it's an even count. Standing in the on-deck circle is Holden Breeze, who bounced out to third on the first pitch of the game.
Bermudez in the last week, 4 for 12 batting. That's a .333 batting average even. Definitely been hot, and he's going to stay alive here at the plate.
Fouling that pitch off. Sundyne loves to go to that breaking ball, really in any count. Didn't get it there, so we'll see what he goes to. Break-even pitch.
Anything poked into the outfield is more than likely going to score Ricky Nunez, but he could also try for just a sac fly. And that one's going to be taken looking. That's the last thing the Miners would have wanted. Takes that one on the outside of the zone, and that one's going to be strike 3, the second out here.
Now we'll get Holden Breeze, who looks to get the Miners on the scoreboard and maybe tie this game up. Corners for the Chinooks do play very tight to the line. Fullerton at third, and then Sheck obviously covering the bag at first. So plenty of real estate deep in the holes.
And we do want to apologize for if the feed is in and out throughout this inning as it's still seemingly get adjusted to the internet, but that one was a bit of a questionable call below the zone. Sundyne starting off in control here despite all the runners he's had, and that's another strike right down the middle. Getting a favorable zone from the home plate umpire here. That one put outside, so a 1-2 to David Bermuda, or to Holden Breeze, who's looking to make this an even ball game.
Sundyne stands 5'10", 175 pounds from the Masters University.
And that one's going to be put off of his glove. Are they going to be able to get him in time? Holden's going to beat that one out. That is going to even up this ball game. So fielding errors continue to plague the Chinooks, as none of them seem to be able to stab the ball very well. Not sure if that's going to be recorded as a base hit, but regardless, an RBI for Holden Breeze as he continues to produce in Chugiak.
Yeah, I think that's going to go down as a base hit. The ball came back to Sundyne, hit off his glove, came back really quickly, though. I think that's going to be rolled as a hit. And it's going to be, they did roll the hit here at Lee Jordan Field. So I guess that's what we'll go with.
The 4th hit of the ball game, and now the Miners finally have a score here in the 2nd inning. Looking to build on that now is Tyler Wilson, as he takes no time to hit this one right over the first baseman's head, and they're sending Nakamura home. He's going to get there easily, and Breeze is going to hold off at third, but Tyler Wilson, caught off guard near first base, is going to be thrown out, but he did manage to get the run across.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Wilson thought he had an easy way back to the bag. Didn't expect to throw back, so they threw to Sheck, and Sheck put down the tag right before he got back. But Miners do get a couple and take the lead.
A quick thinking play from the outfielder does manage to get them out of further trouble, but regardless, Miners attacking here early, and now they hold on to a 2-1 lead. We'll be right back here at Lee Jordan Field for the bottom of the second. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Ready for the bottom of the second here, as Tyler Wosner is preparing for his second inning of work, and in the first inning he definitely had some trouble keeping the Chinooks off the bases, as they were able to score in the first frame here, but he is somebody that as the game goes on seems to get a lot more confident and a lot more velocity on his pitches.
Joe Keel, the catcher from UAB, standing in.
Keel, before the game, shared his life story with the Miners and all of his teammates. It was a pretty interesting experience, and he's a pretty interesting guy. As he watches the first pitch off, Wosner is going to be looking to try and reel this game back in now that his team has re-given him the lead.
Keel stands at 5'10", the catcher from UAB.
As Wosner gets the low call there, and now it's a 3-0 count. Finally gets the strike he's looking for. It was hiding in the low away corner, and now it's 3-1, so he has to work his way back into this count patiently.
Now it goes to 3-2. Wosner from Central Arizona College. That's a JUCO in the Phoenix area. He's from Phoenix as well, so a local guy.
And this one's put onto the ground towards Breeze at second, who makes a light throw over, able to beat out Keel easily, and that's your first out in the bottom of the second.
So Keel retired, and now we're going to get Patty McCormick, who we saw come into the game as a defensive replacement last night in the ninth inning. No at-bats for him. Northern Illinois Husky standing in now.
Didn't get a chance in last night's game besides a pinch hit opportunity.
McCormick comes in on the year hitting .267.
And there's a strike blistering on the outside.
.267, 20 hits and 75 at-bats, no homers, 5 RBIs.
The major thing with McCormick is just how much he's able to add to their terrorizing stealing as well. As McCormick, from what I can remember, has some pretty big wheels.
7 steals on the year. He's only been caught once. Second on this team in steals, actually, behind John Mark Mullins.
And that one was a good pitch for an 0-2 count, but not good in McCormick's eyes. 1-2 now. That one just a bit high. Chinooks showing off a lot of patience right now, not really offering when they're in 0-2 counts. More of the minor style play. This one's just fouled off and maybe bounced off into his shin a bit.
Yeah, he got hit on the shin, ball just went straight into the turf and back up. It'll be McCormick and then Will Batts standing in the on-deck circle.
Wosner once again, this one just barely fouled off. He can't seem to put him away. Is this at-bat's going to keep going?
Yeah, just got a piece of that. It went off Nakamura's glove, just in and out. So Wosner still at a break-even count. There's no rain in the forecast, so more people up on the hill today. The tent out in left field is once again present. So, same spot pretty much, too. There's also, looks like 3 people kind of standing parallel to the line, about halfway up the hill, and then 1 person out in right center. But nobody's at the top of it yet, so we'll see if anybody can climb up there.
And right now, Tyler Wosner is really getting his pitch count up there. Went through 30 pitches in the first inning. The more foul balls we get, the longer he's going to keep working.
Yeah, McCormick's a guy who's going to hack at the plate. Just 2 walks all year. He's going to take his hacks at the plate.
Right now, it's just going to be about finding that good breaking stuff. He's still looking for whatever is his put-away pitch of choice for the day. This one put on the ground again. This time Bermudez from short. Going to make a long throw. He's in time.
That was really close at the bag.
A close call at first base. Looked like he might have had the advantage, but the Miners get the call for the out.
Yeah, that was a bang play at the bag. McCormick thought he might have been safe, but the first base umpire calling him out, and now 2 away, Will Batts, who got out for the first batter of the Chinook first. Steps to the plate. That's from the Masters University, left-handed batter. Comes in 2 today, hitting .283 on the year. Couple of home runs, 12 RBIs.
And a big swing here, starting off his at-bat with a hack.
0-1 on Batts, who also has 5 steals on the year. He's 5 for 7 in stolen bases as he goes 1-1 in the count.
So far, not providing as much traffic for Wosner in this inning. As this one's right inside, so making me eat my own words as he hits him with a pitch and sends him to first.
That can't feel good. Right in the middle of the back with the fastball. He came with it. Batts takes it. He'll take his base. And now I wouldn't be surprised to see if Batts maybe tries to get the wheels going and maybe steal second here.
No reason not to. 2 outs already, so he's going to be moving if anything's put into play regardless.
Mullins stole a base already on Nakamura and Wosner back in the first, so maybe we see him in motion.
And he starts off on the first pitch, wastes no time. Nakamura gets the throw, but that's far off. He's not going to even be close to tagging him out there.
Yeah, I felt like they might try for that because in the first inning, Mullins kind of stole second base pretty easy. Throw wasn't really that close, and he would have beat it anyway, so I'm not surprised they went after him once again there.
Going to be a bit tougher to steal third, but he does have a man in scoring position now as John Mark Mullins has a chance to even up this game.
Looks like there's some activity going down in the Miners bullpen. Right-hander Aaron Winkler has been throwing actually for a few minutes. We could see him as early as this inning. It's Wosner's first start, obviously, so we haven't really seen how much of longevity is part of his game, but I don't think the plan was for him to throw a stupid amount of innings today, 6, 7, 8 innings. I don't think that was the idea.
No, they're more than likely going to let him try and finish off this inning with 2 already gone. But Winkler could very likely be in for the 3rd inning, and he seems to be the exact opposite personality of what we've seen from Wosner. He's got great control and really doesn't keep a lot of company around him. He does a good job of letting his defense play into his strength and letting them put him away. Nice strike there to make it even at 1-1.
Wosner stands at 6'4" out there on the mound. He's one of the Miners' tallest pitchers.
He's nearly as tall as Patrick Donovan. They're both just really lanky people, too. This one's put right into right field. An easy out there for Ricky Nunez, and the Miners retire without another score, able to hold him off there. We'll see if they're able to add any more insurance runs as we get ready for the third inning. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back from Lee Jordan Field.
Third baseman of the 48, Casey Rother.
The Miners are ready to lead off the third here, and Casey Rother is ready to do it for them after the 3-hole today. He was able to put a ball in play for the first hit of the game for the Miners in his first at-bat. We'll see if he's able to go 2 for 2 now. This one way outside, so getting ahead 2-0 now. As Sundyne is still on for the Chinooks, but likely for the Miners, it's going to be a new face on the mound next to him. Sundyne finally finds a strike there, 2-1.
Came with the fastball, not that overhand curve, and I bet a lot of the Miners, honestly, are probably sitting on that overhand curve. He throws that predominantly.
There it was again, but that time just a bit ahead of it was Casey Rother, so 2-2.
Third baseman from Lehigh stands in. He's been back to third base pretty much over the last month after playing a lot of right field for the first few weeks. As he goes down swinging there on the swinging strikeout. There's the curveball. Down goes Rother, one away here in the third.
Just hard to catch up to his change of pace. That's really how he works all of his hitters. He never really seems to follow the same speed pitch back to back. He never lets you get comfortable. But now he's going to have a pretty strong matchup with Nick Sorelli, who sees the ball better than most anybody.
Strike one, or rather ball one to Sorelli, who comes in on the year. Obviously, he's up to 31 walks, so he's inching closer to that record for the minor walk title, 2-0. Sorelli comes in at a 281 clip, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs.
And this one is put into the sky, heading towards Ferris in right field. And he puts it away near the warning track. That one was hanging for just a bit, but didn't have just enough to get out of here.
Yeah, he gave that a ride, but there's as much room in the outfield here at Lee Jordan Field as any field in the ABL, and Ferris just had to retreat a little bit, and he was able to run it down.
I'm sure they were getting flashbacks to the Sorelli home run sent into right field before. Luckily for them, that one just didn't have enough carry on it. So now Aaron Walters is going to give his best try at it, and this one looks like it's dying even shorter. It is. Will Batts in center field able to put it away for the third out, and that's a quick inning for the Miners. A 1-2-3 scoreless. We'll head into the bottom of the third as the Chinooks look for a response against a new face in Aaron Winkler. Make sure you stay tuned as we'll be back briefly. as we are back here again. We apologize for all the issues we've encountered as the internet here keeps trying to combat us, but in this inning alone, Daniel Naughton has been under some extreme pressure, and Kevin Nakamura has definitely been picked on by the Chinooks stealing, as they've already brought one across with that RBI on the last batter, but now they still have a chance to take the lead. And now at the bag is going to be Colby Ferris, their right fielder for today. He's looking to drive in a big run. They've been able to take advantage of almost everyone on the bags. Only 3 hits so far, but 2 runs to match. So 1-1 count now. Naughton to Ferris. Staring at a 2-2 tie. This one putting a play on a weak line drive, and that's a huge out as it's able to keep the runner at third.
Yeah, Holden Breeze just sticking out his glove there to make the play. Easy play, 2 away, and now Pate Fullerton is the last chance for the Chinooks to take the lead here in the third.
Now batting for the Chinooks, the sophomore third baseman from
Miners
UAB,
looking
number
to
7,
get out of this inning,
Fullerton.
still holding on to a tie. It's been pretty back and forth so far. No one side seems to hold the momentum for more than an inning. This one low for ball 1. Naughton's had to deal with a number of struggles in this inning, but right now he's able to even up that count with a good pitch.
Fullerton struck out to end the first inning with the sacks full.
And getting closer to that same outcome here, 1-2 now.
Fullerton, the third baseman from UAB. Signature wrist tape. We've seen him wear that white wrist tape every game.
Able to lay off on that one. 2-2. Naughton would love to end it with a strikeout here and make a big statement on the inning. And able to do just that, freezes him at the plate, and Daniel Naughton survives with just 1 run allowed. We're going to make it through 3. It's a tie ball game at 2 apiece, and we'll be right back with the 4th inning of action after a short break. Ready for the 4th here in Chugiak as Zach Sundine's still on the mound, and Ricky Nunez is going to be looking to get on for his 2nd time today.
Nunez reached his first trip up on a ground ball to shortstop that the shortstop Mullins booted. He was able to reach on the air.
And we've talked plenty in these past 2 games about the surprise we've had from the errors coming from the shortstop position. But maybe that's just something that the Miners have figured out. Maybe John Mark Mullins isn't the better defender that we thought he was. The Miners trying to expose that here. And this one's going to come in and hit Ricky Nunez, so getting on once again and this time only in a single pitch.
Hit him with a breaking ball there. It looked like it may have hit the top of his foot. So now we're going to get Mike Ferreira, who had a bloop single his first time up. Come on, Michael.
Well, Sunday did look good through the first inning or two with his control. Maybe he's showing a bit of fatigue from having played not too long ago and being turned around to start again. Ferreira looking for his second hit here. And this one put on the ground quickly. This one past the third baseline, and Ricky Nunez still running to third. Mike Ferreira is going to pull into second, so an extra base hit advances the runner to third. And now the Miners have two in scoring position with none away.
That ball was socked down the third base line. Fullerton gave it a dive, but it was right by him. He had no chance. Nunez motoring into third, and the Miners have a prime opportunity to take the lead back once again.
I think it's a good assumption that Mike Ferreira is definitely on the overside of the hill for his injury. He had been sitting out for a while just to recover, but seems healthy now, and a 2-for-2 line supports that.
Chinooks are going to give up a run by default if the ball's hit to the middle infield. Middle infield back, but the corners are in.
And this one's sent into the outfield, so going to be a sac fly at least. And it's getting down as well. Kevin Nakamura puts it up against the wall, and Mike Ferreira is going to be heading home as well. The relay is not going to go home. Nakamura pulls into second, and that's 2 runs scored.
Nakamura just getting a really good piece of that one on a hop off the left center field fence. That ball just kept carrying and carrying. It's a 2-run double, and the Miners retake the lead 4-2.
This Miners squad has been waiting on Nakamura to return to his early season form. Began the year in 3 games with 7 RBIs and showing up there big with 2 more ribeyes on his plate.
Back-to-back doubles to begin, or back-to-back doubles here as the first 3 batters have all reached for the Miners here in the 4th.
That's going to bring it up to David Bermudez, the shortstop in the 9-hole today. See if he can keep the momentum going as the Miners may be looking to break this game open with a big 4th inning. 1-0 count to Bermudez. He puts this one on the ground as well, but going foul. Miners trying to get the Sundyne pretty early right now. They've obviously gone into their bullpen already, maybe forcing Chugiak to use some more of their better arms. They already saw Keinrich yesterday and used him up. As Bermudez tattoos this one, it's getting down for a single. And they're going to send Nakamura. No, he pulls himself back. But David Bermudez pulls into second clean.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Chugiak was thinking there. The throw came all the way to the plate, and Nakamura said he would have had no chance. It was a good job by Sherman to hold him up at third. Chugiak, for some reason, that throw came all the way to the plate. They throw that to the cutoff man. Bermudez has to stay at first. And said he's out to second, and it's 4 straight hits to start the inning. Second and third, still no one out.
That's just some nice awareness from Bermudez. When he was rounding first, he definitely saw the throw going over, just kept his momentum going, and now the Miners are really threatening here. Already 8 hits, and we're not even an out into the 4th inning.
There's no activity down the Chinook bullpen. I don't think they could have guessed that Zach Sundyne was not going to was going to get hit around this much, and it appears right now you would think that he might not even last through the 4th.
Well, we've seen a few meltdowns on the mound so far. Obviously, the Miners were able to capture a win in a recent game thanks to some walk runs, walking the bases loaded 3 times in a row, and now they're really taking advantage of a tired pitcher. Throws a strike right there, maybe looking to get ahead of Holden Breeze.
Miners have 8 hits already with nobody out here in the 4th, and I can say with certainty this is their most hits through 3+ innings all year.
Oh, no question. The real debate is whether or not they're going to be able to compete with the pace of their 7th, 8th, and 9th inning.
Sundyne's pitch count really isn't the issue right now. He's sitting on the day at 53 pitches.
Breeze looking to knock in another one and takes a big swing there, finds nothing but air. There's your first out of the inning.
Clearly the meeting at the mound worked a little bit. Breeze back to the dugout, 3-pitch strikeout. Now it's going to be Tyler Wilson who knocked in a run back in, I believe, the 2nd inning.
The inning is still well alive. Only 1 out away and 2 men standing in scoring position. If there's another base hit, we might be looking at 2 more runs on the board. Wilson lays off the low pitch. Sundine's curveball definitely not have as much break as it normally does. That one, another breaking ball, this time on the inside, and that's going to be ball 2.
And Wilson really working it. Nakamura stands off third, Bermudez at second.
Takes a big swing there. Seemed like he timed it up well, as his swing was on time, but just couldn't keep that one fair.
2-1. Chinooks will concede a run if it goes back up the middle again. The infield is not in here with 1 out. Interesting decision.
This one's fouled off again, landing just a few feet left of the third baseline.
And the corners are in, Sheck and Fullerton, but middle infield back. So, I mean, anything on the ground is shorter second, as now Mullins is going to move in, and so is Patty McCormick. So, right on cue, they move in.
Must have been listening into our broadcast.
I really don't know why they didn't have him in to begin with, but hey, who knows?
And that one's going to be low, but we do see a massive leadoff from second. Keep your eye on David Bermudez as he slipped all the way behind John Marks Mullins halfway to third.
Anything into the, I mean, he is a good 30, 35 feet off the bag right now.
It's a good thing he's not looking behind him as this one's sent into the air, into foul ground, and put away. No, dropped! Sheck had it for a second and couldn't keep control of it, so it's going to stay alive.
That is absolutely killer. That was a gift second out, and that would have been a huge out, as there were second and third, nobody out. And now, getting another chance to redeem himself is Tyler Wilson.
So Tyler Wilson still alive after a bit of butterfingers on Josh Sheck's end. Full count now. And this one low and fouled away again. So the pitch count wasn't an issue before. Maybe Tyler Wilson said, I'll make that an issue for you.
3-2 once again.
Has a chance to be put on first should he lay off a ball. But he's going to turn this one around and put it into deep center field. Bats under it and able to get there for the out, but this is easily going to produce a sac fly, and Bermudez into third.
Productive out there and a good at-bat for Tyler Wilson as he drove up the pitch count and then was able to sock that one to deep center, so the Miners take a 5-2 lead off the sac fly from Tyler Wilson.
Now batting for the
Ninth
Miners,
RBI of the season for
Casey
Wilson,
Rother.
closer to double digits now. And next up is Casey Rother, the third baseman for today, also has a hit so far. He'll be looking for his first RBI in today's game. Lays off of pitch 1.
Rother standing in as he looks to increase this lead.
May be able to increase it should he get on himself, as Nick Sorelli stands in the on-deck circle behind him.
Still no activity in the Chinook bullpen. Clearly they want some longevity out of Zach Sundine.
Whether they have to force it out of him or not, but there he finally gets his first strike. Miners still here in the top of the fourth, 3 runs already scoring, and Casey Rother is likely going to go for a 4-3 ground out. He will. They finally get out of the top of the inning after allowing a slew of hits and a few sac flies. The Miners take the lead back, and now the score sits at 5-2.
Yeah, they're able to get their runs off a 2-run double from Kevin Nakamura and a sac fly by Tyler Wilson. So they take a 3-run lead as we head into the bottom of the fourth.
And we will be right back here with more ABL action. Make sure you don't go anywhere so you don't miss it.
Joseph Keel.
Well, we're ready for the bottom of the fourth. Miners set the tone here in the top, scoring 3 runs. And now it's the Alabama native, Joe Keel, at the plate.
New pitcher on the mound, too, for the Miners, Aaron Winkler, who's pitched 17 innings, 8 games this year, allowed just 3 runs, struck out 10, 2-0 record, and he's got a 1.59 ERA.
So we were correct about Winkler warming up, just a bit preemptive with his entry into the game.
5-2 Miners. Obviously, a win today will clinch the #1 overall seed in the ABL regular season championship. So, throwing everybody out there trying to just get it done now.
And this one's sent into the sky. It's going to be a looping ball for an easy out in right field.
Ball just floated up there to Nunez, 1 away, and now we're going to see the bottom of the order, Patty McCormick.
Second baseman from Northern Illinois University, number 5, Patty McCormick.
Coming back in, stands at even 5'7". On the day for McCormick, he's only had 1 at-bat, and that did not produce a hit, so an 0 for 1.
McCormick's the kind of ball player that makes you and I really feel like normal-sized human beings.
Yeah, honestly,
well appreciated.
But he's much better at baseball than us.
Well, yeah.
Like, not even close.
Well, yeah. Just talking about the height. We'll take our small victories. But right now, Winkler already 1 away and ahead in another at-bat as he's going to stay ahead 0-2.
Standing on deck is the center fielder, Will Batts. Bubba Walters showcasing the arm as he whips the baseball across the on-deck circles.
Bet back in his prime, he could throw him over the mountains, but right now, Aaron Winkler getting his second out of the inning, and that time on a strikeout swinging.
Reared back on that one, came with the fastball. McCormick wasn't ready for it. 2 away, Will Batts coming to the plate. He's the only man between Winkler and a 1-2-3-4.
Miners would love to keep his pitch count low. Whenever Winkler comes in, he seems to work quickly. Had a 5-pitch inning in his last appearance. Right there, getting ahead again, so Aaron Winkler seems to be on point with his pitches today.
Sit at 7:20 local time, about an hour and 20 minutes.
And that one's just going to bounce over his head. Breeze is able to get it behind second base, but not in time.
Yeah, had no chance there. That ball was just hit too slowly back up the middle.
So they finally get a hit in response. Now they have a man aboard with 2 outs, and we'll see if it becomes a threat. Still no room for error. And they'll have John Mark Mullins, their shortstop, back up.
Looks like Evan Wolf may have picked up a ball and started to throw a little bit down in the bullpen, so maybe we see another change in the 5th.
Miners, if they secure the win tonight in home field advantage, they have no reason to really play all of their starting lineup at the risk of injury, have more of a chance to play some backup positions for the next week.
Yeah, it's important to clinch tonight, certainly, because you can kind of take it more slow, especially with the arms, and get them kind of toned up, get everybody in the game, and just kind of coast into the playoffs with everybody healthy, make sure that nobody's banged up, and you can get your entire squad together.
So win tonight may be the first and only thing on their mind. As he's going to go for second, and Will Batts is going to have to return to first again, so they'll likely steal again, but he's going to have to try again.
0-2 here on Mullins, who's coming in for his 3rd at-bat of the day. So far on the day, he's 0 for 1 with a walk. Also scored a run and stole a base.
He's hit it all over the bases so far, as he always is. Now an 0-2 count. Winkler with a chance to get out of this inning. Looks him up and down and finally throws it in right near his feet, and that one actually got his foot, so he'll get on again out of a 2-strike count.
Yeah, that ball just came in and was unfortunate. Hit him right in the shoe top, and I believe that's the 4th hit by pitch of the game by both sides. I mean, obviously none of them intentional, hasn't really hit him anywhere too bad. Besides, we saw actually Will Batts get hit in the center of the back earlier, but all the other ones have been breaking balls or low in the zone. So the 4th hit batter of the game, and now it's going to be 1st and 2nd tying run to the plate, Hayden Keller.
That one was a bit surprising. Winkler's first 10 pitches, 9 strikes, 1 ball. and then that hit by pitch, so lost a bit of his concentration possibly. But now we have 2 on, 2 away, and a 1-0 count as Leo Harris, or not Leo Harris, Hayden Keller steps back into the box. And Keller's already ahead 2-0, helping himself and maybe even extending this inning right when we thought Winkler had a 1-2-3 opportunity. Finally gets the strike. Maybe that's all he needed. Definitely seems to be locating well on the bottom of the zone with his breaking ball.
The only other game in the ABL tonight is between the Peninsula Oilers and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. That game 0-0, top second in Kenai. It's also the last home game of the year for the Oilers.
So big swing there by Keller, and now it evens it up at 2-2. Winkler looking for a third out that could shut down the potential threats on second and first. He's going to stop himself before delivering, and now he's going to have to set up again. Winkler looks in, has what he wants. Winkler ready here. And this pitch is low and inside again, not going to hit him, but is going to be ball 3. If you're Winkler, you need to focus on throwing a strike with this next pitch no matter what. You don't want to fill the sacks with a walk. This one is going to be put into play. Ricky Nunez calls him off in right field, and that one's an easy out. Able to navigate another one. Aaron Winkler makes it a scoreless 4th for the Chinooks.
Yeah, that was a good job by Winkler to navigate around any real damage. Got the 3-2 in the count, but made a good pitch and got an easy pop-up. So Miners preserved their 3-run lead.
And we'll see if they're able to build on top of that in the 5th. We'll be right back at Lee Jordan. We are ready to start the 5th inning here as Nick Sorelli is the first one at the plate for the Miners. Sorelli starting off with the ball, 1-0. And they are going to stick with Sundine for another inning. 2-0 count now. Interested to see how long they're going to see if they can extend his day of work. They have a bit of action going around, but it does look like more spike ball than actual warm-ups. As Sorelli gets this one in fair play, that one's going to stay close to the line as he's going to pull into second. Another double for Nick Sorelli.
Leadoff double, good piece of hitting for Sorelli as he's struggled lately to get the hits together, as obviously kept his on base up with the walks, but right there leaned into that one, hit that one really hard down the right field line.
Miners are keeping their hit parade going here early, and now at 9 hits. See if Aaron Walters can follow suit and add for his second of the game, or his first of the game, as he still is without a hit in this one. Walters starts to go there. That's enough for the home plate umpire, and that's going to be strike one.
It didn't go around there. At least it looked like from here, but home plate umpire giving him the strike, so 0-1.
Walters with a .333 batting average against Sundyne on the year. So he'll be looking to keep that average high. A 1-1 count now. And once again, this one's going to be low. Nice job by Keel to simply stay in front of it, but Sundyne is definitely showing signs that he's slowing down.
I mean, he's been slowed down. He gave up, obviously, 2 in the second and then 3 in the fourth. Still on no activity in the Chinook bullpen, interesting enough. So, not really sure what the direction is here, but we'll stick with him.
A quick turnaround decision definitely affecting Sundyne now. This one just goes foul. Walters looking to continue to contribute for the heart of this lineup, who have been somewhat quiet the past couple of games, but they're really stepping up here today. Rother, Sorelli, Walters have generated most of the offense for the Miners throughout this year. They're going to need him to stay consistent in the playoffs. Nice job to lay off there in a tough count, so now 3-2.
Nunez stands on deck, who was hit by a pitch his last time up. So first and second, if Walters could reach maybe on a walk, I would expect Nunez to maybe try to lay down a sac bunt.
Ricky seems to be the magic runner for the Miners so far. So this one's fouled just again to keep it going. But every time Ricky's been on, and he's been on twice, he's scored both times.
JR Septic Pumping and Excavation.
Bit more back and forth from the crowd here at Lee Jordan with the PA, who actually went to my school, 2 grades above me. Did not expect to find an IU grad out here in Alaska. As this one's turned on again, still foul, still going to stay alive at the plate as Aaron Walters is making himself a home right now.
Putting together a good at-bat, and the pitch count continues to be driven up for Zach Sundyne. Lefty-on-lefty matchup. Obviously, still nobody throwing down the pen, and there is a run of righties coming up in the minor orders, so interesting to see what they do there as that pitch is scalded out of play again.
Well, he's really getting good contact and exit velocity, but just can't keep it straight for the time being. He's sooner or later, if he can stay alive longer, he's going to run into something, and we might see Nick Sorelli turn for home. But he's just going to keep going as Sundyne is really stuck in a time loop now.
Yeah, he's trying to work the outer part of the plate, and Walters isn't budging. He's fouling everything away there. Fouling pretty much everything out of play. Probably looking in for a fastball.
In case your day wasn't long enough for Zach Sundyne, you were stuck here with Aaron Walters. Full count still. And this one's also popped up and gonna be another foul ball. He just can't go away.
That foul ball brought to you by Edward Jones Financial Advisor.
Aaron Walters is making this an extended stay in the box.
Pitch count sits at 10. Already to Wally, so he's got another one coming up next. Pitch count for Sundyne sits at 79 pitches.
His next throw will be number 80, so we'll see what kind of impact he has here. Starts to lift his leg, but goes right back into his stance.
Nobody even holding Sorelli on. Like, literally no one. I'm kind of surprised, honestly. He isn't at a bigger lead. He could easily swipe third right now if he wanted to.
He also was on second during that double play the other day, so maybe more cautious. And we are to keep going with another foul ball. This is becoming a show of sorts for the crowd, as we're just going to see who's going to win this battle at this point. 6
foul balls in a row for Walters as he tries to straighten one out and win the battle.
Unstoppable force meets an immovable object. This is the outcome. Walters again ready to go back. And finally lays it off for a long extended walk.
12-pitch walk. That's about as good as it gets, and I think that's the Miners' longest at-bat. Pitch count-wise, for a walk this year, as Wally takes first, and now it's first and second. We see Nunez and maybe a possible sacrifice bunt.
That's got to be deflating if you're Sundyne on the mound. To take a batter that deep just to give up the walk, you definitely lost the battle, and now we're going to see if Ricky Nunez can make him pay for it.
If Nunez were to bunt the runners over, Ferreira would get a chance with 2 runners in scoring position next, but he's not squaring there, ball 1.
No, it seems Ricky, he said before the game, I want to obliterate a baseball. He's not been given the chance to play for the past couple games, so he really wants to turn on something. Ricky looking to hit something right on its seams, but this one's just going to be fouled off.
1-1 on Nunez.
That foul ball brought to you by Ken McCarty.
Ricky on with an error so far and a hit by pitch. Definitely not the most organic ways of getting on, but whatever works. And there he does square up, but he lays off, and they're going to say that's ball 2.
Yeah, pulled back in time, even on the appeal to the first base umpire. He's back 2-1.
If Ricky can get on without getting out, load him up for Mike Ferreira, he may be able to drive something in, as Ferreira already has 2 hits on the game, and this one is laid down perfectly.
And Nunez beat it.
Some lax play and going through the motions from Josh Scheck, as he wasn't able to move over in time, and Patty McCormick struggled to beat him out. Ricky Nunez, the hustle play, he gets on for the 3rd time.
McCormick beat him to the bag slightly. I'm not really sure what Josh Scheck was doing. He picked that up and kind of threw it nonchalantly over to first. Said he had more of a sense of urgency. They would have easily got Nunez, but Nunez beats it out. So now the bases are loaded and nobody out.
So lack of concern and haste really fought him there. Mike Ferreira is going to be looking for his 3rd hit on the first pitch, but he'll swing for a strike there.
0-1 count, infield, middle infield play back, corners in. They'd love a ground ball here.
Picking for another strike, this time low, 0-2. Sundyne finally getting ahead of a hitter in this inning.
Nakamura, who doubled in a pair of runs his last time up, stands on deck.
This one put on the ground again. Will it stay fair? Just enough for him to get Sorelli with the force out at home.
That'll go 5-2 on the ground out, fielder's choice. Fullerton on the charge picked that up nearly in the same position as Sorelli and was easily able to toss him out. So Kevin Nakamura comes up with bases loaded, still 1 out.
Now batting for the Miners,
Nakamura on the season, batting a .216 to this point, including his double with his last at-bat. 2 RBIs already, a great chance to add on some more here with 3 runners on.
1-0 count. Miners would take anything besides a ground ball here. Got to stay out of the double play.
This one low again, 2-0.
And now it appears there has finally been some throwing down in the Chinook bullpen. It's like a right-hander.
And Kevin Nakamura is going to turn on another one. This one heading into left field. That one's gone! Kevin Nakamura, a grand slam, just broke this game open.
6 RBIs on the day for Nak as he goes way over the fence in left field. It's a grand slam, and the Miners take a commanding 9-2 lead.
Well, he's playing with the same energy of the first 3 games, Kevin Nakamura. Clear all the bases, give this man a Miner hat. We have a base-clearing home run. So Kevin Nakamura makes it a 9-2 ball game, and if Sundyne wasn't deflated before, he's well aware now of the situation he's in.
The 2nd grand slam by the Miners this year. Nick Sorelli had the first one. Nakamura taking that out to left field, and he's having the game of his life today. 6 RBIs.
upping that slugging percentage as well with a double and a home run. Kevin Nakamura definitely having the best game so far, as this one's put on the ground. David Bermuda is close at first, but is put out on a ground out. But still only the second out of the inning. We're still going.
And that makes that sac bunt by Ricky Nunez that he was able to beat out to first base even more important.
Every mistake coming back to bite him. He could be done with the inning already. They likely could have had a chance to hold him off, but Kevin Nakamura made him pay. Now Holden Breeze looking to add on some insult to injury. Big swing there, 0-2 now.
9-2 game now. We could see maybe the Miners deploy some of the backhand arms out of their bullpen. We'll see if Wink goes back out for the fifth. This has been a super long game, honestly, through less than 4.5 innings as we sit at an hour and 40 minutes of game time.
And Holden's going to feel the sting on that one. Just bounced off his ankle, but he'll try and walk it off and get ready to step back in. As Sundyne, the horse that he is closing in on 100 pitches in the game. 97 currently, 98 coming up next. And this one's popped up again. Will it stay in play? It won't. That's going to be another foul ball. And foul balls seem to be what's really been eating up those numbers.
Sundyne, this is most definitely going to be his worst statistical start of the year. He had a iffy one in Anchorage against the Bucks a few weeks back, but this one, runs-wise, is significantly worse.
9 runs already for the Miners. 11 hits in the ballgame. The sign in center field says 10, but it's 11. And now, let's see if Holden Breeze can keep it even longer, but he finally gets out of it. On pitch 100, he's able to end the inning with a strikeout looking, but the Miners extend their lead to 9-2.
Yeah, Kevin Nakamura having a monster game today, and they've needed it big time. From the Fife, Washington native as he unloads over the left field fence, grand slam. Miners take a commanding 7-run lead.
We'll see if they're able to keep that strong lead going. Aaron Winkler returning for his second inning of work, and we'll be right back with the bottom of the fifth after a short break. Make sure you stay right here. Miners looking to hold on to a big lead here early, and it's a 7-run lead, and Aaron Winkler just has to make sure he doesn't make that a closer game. Shouldn't be too hard for someone like Winkler, who's notoriously known for having a whip below 1. Starting off with 2 straight balls here in this inning. Finally gets something to offer at. Takes a big slice out of that one for foul tip in a first strike.
2-1 here on Josh Scheck. It'll be 4, 5, 6 in the order. Scheck, Harris, and then Colby Ferris.
So this one is going to be heading into foul ground again, but Kevin Nakamura and Casey Rother are able to snag that one close to the dugout. Nakamura called off by Rother, who took it himself for the first out. And now it's going to be Leo Harris, the designated hitter for today in the Chinooks lineup, up next.
From UAB, number 24, Leo Harris.
Harris had a hit earlier today into right field, went the opposite way.
If you look at his stats, Leo Harris doesn't have the most eye-popping stats by any means, and it seems like every time we're calling games, the few times he gets hits, he really gets them against the minors. Of his 6 hits this season, I'd say, what, 5 have come against us? But right now, he'll be looking for hit number 7 and maybe even his second home run. But laying off that strike. Winkler in a 2-1. This one far inside.
3-1 on Harris as Ferris looms on deck. 2-0 in the Anchorage Glacier Pilots game over in Kenai.
This one fouled off again, so Winkler refusing to walk another batter.
Fausto Lopez with a sac fly in the second inning. Tom Tavik with an RBI double in the third to give the Pilots that 2-0 lead in Kenai.
This one laid off again, and that's strike 3. So Leo Harris put down looking, and Aaron Winkler is 2 outs into this inning.
They'll get Colby Ferris next, who leads this club with 4 home runs.
They're going to need a big hit from him, as this offense has really struggled to get going so far. They scratched across individual runs in the first and third, but have had no response for the wave of scoring the Miners have been putting up.
1-0. Ferris from Tarleton State in Texas. They just moved up to Division I actually this year.
And this one is put into play pretty well, but just stepping back a few extra feet is Tyler Wilson in center field. The Miners were able to get through the 5th without much issue.
Yeah, an easy inning for Winkler as he looks to maybe ride out the 6th and 7th too.
No reason he can't if he keeps his pitch count low. So far, only at 29 through 2. So the Miners offense is going to see if they can keep this barrage going at the plate. They'll look to extend on what's already a 7-run lead as we head into the 6th. Make sure you stay right here. We'll be back. We lead off the 6th with Tyler Wilson. He'll be into the left-handed batter's box as we have a new pitcher on, and it's Nate Heinrich from Earlham College.
Right-hander on here in the 6th, just trying to keep the score the way it is and not let it get more out of it. The Miners obviously only 3 runs away from putting in the line for a mercy win in the 7th.
And Heinrich is one that's definitely struggled on the year at points. 9 runs allowed and only 11 innings pitched, good for a 6.94 ERA. That comes out to be the statistical lowest, or the statistical highest, for the Chinooks, rating lowest for their pitchers. That one just outside, so 2-1. Also doesn't have too many strikeouts. He has a lot of hits in the innings he's pitched, so for a Miners offense that's pretty hot here in the early innings, this could be dangerous.
He's allowed 4 doubles and 1 home run, which you could attribute to the reason his ERA the way it is. In terms of hits and walks, obviously, he's not helping himself either. That whip nearing 2. Wilson in a 3-1 count now.
Could be picking up a walk here with a good eye, and he'll do just that. 6th walk for Heinrich on the year, and Tyler Wilson takes his free base.
Yeah, might as well. Tyler Wilson able to ward that off, and I'm sure the Miners would love to get the mercy win and get out of here in a couple of innings. So Casey Rother is going to try to help that cause as he'll step to the plate. 1 on, none out.
Rother so far today has already got his hit, but doesn't have an RBI. Every man aboard, though, obviously has value. They learned that with the Grand Slam alone. We'll see if Rother's able to get on here for a second time.
Rother laying off that breaking ball. Hemmerich obviously has had problems with hits. Doesn't have elite velocity. Tries to get away with hitting his spots. Rother trying to almost, I guess you can say, pull the fastball as he watches that pitch for strike 1.
Similar to Sundyne, doesn't have a ton of velocity like you had mentioned, so relies a lot on his breaking balls. But Casey Rother is playing this one smart, making the pitcher beat him rather than try and fight back and make it easier. Sometimes the hardest thing you can do as a pitcher is throw a strike to someone you know is not swinging.
Breaking ball there, good stop by Joe Keel. This count goes to 3-1.
So Casey Rother in a 3-1 count on what could be the second walk of the inning. It'll be just that. That one's high for ball 4. Starting to load him up now. And next up is Nick Sorelli, who may be looking to take his own walk in the game. Already 2 hits so far on his line.
He had that double last time. A screamer down the right field line that he was able to pull and then ended up scoring on that Nakamura home run.
If somebody's going to take advantage of a pitcher that allows extra base hits, it's going to be Nick Sorelli. Lays off there. So Hemmerich, since he's entered, has not really been able to consistently find the strike zone. I don't think we've seen back-to-back strikes thrown so far.
Meeting at the mound between Hemmerich, Joe Keel, and Chris Beck as he'll jog out there and talk to his right-hander. Nobody warming up in the pen, and it's just a struggle right now to get the ball over the plate for Hemmerich.
Sorelli will be the 3rd batter he faces. Obviously, like you said, no one warmed up, so they're currently kind of stuck with him for the time being, as he was just put in the game, so they maybe anticipated he would go deeper than the first 3 batters he saw. But making a tough situation worse, already down 7, and a chance for the Miners to add on to that here, as they could inch themselves closer to a mercy rule.
Count is 1-0. I think we're at the point in the game at 9-2 where we can just talk about random things. I would like to file a complaint with the managers of Fred Meyer, or the owner of Fred Meyer. He really needs to update his sandwich selection in the deli. I just wanted to put that out there. So if you're listening, please update that.
How long has this been lingering on your
A
mind?
while. No, remember, this was back in Anchorage before we went to the showcase. We stopped at Fred Meyer before the game, and they didn't have like the regular size sub sandwiches that you find at literally every supermarket.
I
Like
don't
Meyer,
remember this.
Walmart.
I feel like this has been
This
a
was during
personal
the
vendetta for you that
it's
you've
been a
holding on
vendetta.
to.
I've been holding on to it.
Well,
I remember I bought I bought like a 10-pack of granola bars and ate them the entire time at that
you were
showcase.
just sulking.
If you've ever eaten 10 granola bars, honestly, it's
Doesn't
not
sound
a good
enjoyable at all.
experience. I wouldn't try it.
No, I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna
See,
go
I
watch-
love these blowout type games because I can put my complaints on air.
This is just where you come to vent. This
This
is
is
your
my-
therapy. We're able to turn around quickly. This one, outside. Ball 3.
So full count to Sorelli. Runners obviously not going to be on the move here. Well, I guess you could see it, but more than likely not. 3-2 on Sorelli. He'll just look to take its pass.
Every walk counts for Sorelli at this point. Still sitting at 31. And that one is gonna be called strike 3.
I don't know.
I don't think Sorelli is a fan of that call either.
Close, but I don't know about that one.
Can't change it
Now
now.
ready for the
Hemorrhage
first
does
baseman,
have
number
his
15,
first
Aaron
out,
Walters.
and now it's going to be Aaron Walters. Walters still without a hit, but did get on via the walk last time. A pitcher like Hemorrhage, he could find a second one here.
12-pitch walk.
Starting him out with a strike, so maybe that first strikeout was what he needed to get going.
Some sunshine in the area, kind of near left field, but it's mostly overcast, specifically in right field. Big cloud blanketing the mountain, actually, over there.
Walters waiting on the pitch. And he'll take that one low, but it's going to be strike 2.
Emmer just seemed to find the zone. Had some trouble finding it, but he was able to strike out Sorelli, and now he's gone 0-2 and on Walters.
Walters maybe looking for another extended at-bat. Gonna have to get a bit protective on the plate. But not that protective. Lays off.
1-2.
Good job to wait on that spike.
Is that Evan Floyd, I think, throwing down in the bullpen?
I felt really bad because one time when I saw Floyd from the back, I said it was Sorelli. And he never let me
I
live that
remember
down.
that.
He never
No.
let me live it down.
Yeah, I think that is Evan Floyd, at least.
So I won't make
Throwing-
any assumptions about him anymore.
Throwing with the jacket on.
And that one looping, that's going to be an easy out in left field. Hayden Keller able to get under that one and keep the runners at bay.
After it looked like the Miners might load up the bases with nobody out. Now there's 2 outs, 2 runners
Now
on
batting
still,
for
and
runners,
Ricky
left fielder,
Nunez
number
stepping to the
14,
plate.
Ricky Nunez.
Ricky Nunez has kept his magic alive. He and Kevin Nakamura both having great games, but Ricky Nunez has not been put out in this game. An error, a hit by pitch, and his own hit last time with the beautiful bunt that resulted in 3 straight times being on. See if he can get another hit this time into the play. This time it's just going to skip past Mike Ferreira in the on-deck circle.
0-1 on Nunez, who looks for an RBI.
Also, if anyone hears random noises, we do have Christian Steelhorse in the box with us, so
He's doing pitch counts. You can say hi, Christian. Hello.
so if you hear any weird noises, it's definitely not us, it's definitely Christian. And Ricky's going to put this one on the ground. Mullins with the throw. He's gonna get there in time, so Mullins able to make a clean play, and Ricky Nunez finally put out in this one as the Miners were unable to scratch one across in the top of the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. We still got more baseball to come. Make sure you stick around. We'll be back after a short break. We are ready for the bottom of the sixth, and Pete Fullerton will be the first one to the plate.
Winkler's still out there. Aaron Winkler's still out on the mound, as you can probably hear Christian say. Back out for the sixth inning. This is his third inning of work, as there's ball one to Fullerton.
Winkler's been able to keep his pitch count fairly low. That first throw here in the third inning of work will put him at 30 so far, but he gets a swing on the next one from Fullerton. Winkler looking to make quick work here, but that one's just going to get away from him.
Scoreboard, at least balls and strikes, is either out or hasn't been put up yet. There's nothing on top, just the score. Fastball right down the chute, strike two.
Also, if you look in the top right corner, you see these really thick clouds that are pretty much just hanging on the top of the mountains and right around us here. And a big strikeout for Winkler.
Pete Fullerton goes down for the third time today on strikes. Now it's going to be the catcher, Joe Keel, with one out.
The bottom of the lineup putting up a little resistance, and so far on the day, the 7, 8, 9 hole all hitless. None of them have even been on with a walk or any variation. And this one's going to be tattooed almost immediately. This one's going to get down for extra bases. It's still staying along the right base line. He'll get to second. Joe Keel moving pretty big, or moving pretty well for a big man.
Keel in with a one-out double, and now at the bottom of the order, Patty McCormick.
Right as I was saying, they had no offense from the bottom of their offense. Keel was able to turn around a quick ball for a easy hit.
McCormick wears number 5, bats from the right side. Floyd's still with his warm-up jacket on, so it doesn't appear he's an immediate candidate to come in, but we could see him as a few batters go by.
And this one's just weakly lined. David Bermudez gets there, tries to throw for second, but he can't get the double play. Still a great idea from David to turn that so quickly.
Got it. He robbed it. He robbed Patty McCormick of a hit there in short left field, ranging all the way out there to make the grab, and then almost got the double play. So now 2 outs, and top of the order, Will Batts.
Now batting for the Chinooks, a junior center fielder from the
David has arguably been the unspoken leader of the infield defense, as he's just been showing off his range all year.
It's definitely Kanye West.
Bermudez is a stabilizing force. He's definitely the best defensive infielder.
And this one right back to him, so a chance to do it again. And this one on a bounce is going to get away, but he goes home. And that one's a throw down as well. So 2 tough throws. I mean,
I'm not really sure what happened there. The first base umpire did not make a call for at least 2 or 3 seconds. He just stood there without making a call, and apparently he's safe.
Well, it had bounced out of Walter's glove at first. So,
I didn't see that, actually.
So didn't have full control. Then Walters also threw it down when he went home. They finally get a run across to make it 9-3, and 2 quick throws that could have both been outs now create 1 run.
So 9-3 now, obviously. Still not really in this thing, but a couple more runs, they could fight their way back into it.
John Mark Mullins in a 2-out situation, looking to make that mercy rule even harder for the Miners by putting something into play deep into right field.
Just got under that.
But Ricky Nunez is there.
Yeah, he just got under that baseball. Had he straightened that out a little bit, I might have had a chance to get out of here, but plenty of room for Nunez as he ranged back into right center.
For now, the score stands at 9-3. Miners still holding on to a 6-run advantage. And we'll be back with our 7th inning of action. We're getting closer to the end, so make sure you stay right here.
Yes, back up. We'll see ya.
For the Miners,
We're ready for the top of the 7th here from Lee Jordan Field, and Mike Ferreira is the leadoff for the Miners, as they'll be looking to extend on what's already been a productive day at the plate.
Bottom of the lineup today really producing. Ferreira, a couple hits. Bermudez a hit. And then obviously Kevin Nakamura has drove in 6 runs. Come on, Michael!
Speaking of Nakamura, in the on-deck circle right now. And Mike Ferreira's getting to this one early. Still finding it in center field was Will Batts, who managed to turn around and track it down for out number 1.
Nakamura striding in now. Michael. 1 out.
Now the hottest man in this lineup for today, Kevin Nakamura.
Now batting for the Miners, catcher number 4,
Huge
Kevin
day
Nakamura.
for the kid from Fife, Washington.
So far a 2 for 2 day, 6 RBIs.
Breaking ball there, good overhand breaking ball for strike 1. Hemorrhage back out there for the Chinooks. Still just trying to get this mop-up duty done and keep no runs from crossing on the scoreboard. Miners already 9 in the game.
And another one that Kevin's going to pop up, but this one's not going to go far. Sheck runs over from first to put it away, and that's going to be a quick second out.
David Bermudez, the shortstop next for the Miners.
So the bottom of the lineup has been producing, but maybe run out of a bit of juice here. We'll see if David Bermudez is able to make it a non-1-2-3 inning. Way outside pitch for ball 1.
Like a slider way off the plate from Hemorrhage.
Just a bit outside.
Standing on deck is Holden Breeze.
Another one popped up towards foul ground, but no play to be made.
Miners offense today, 11 hits, and actually the only man without a hit is Aaron Walters, but he did contribute in other ways by working that 12-pitch walk earlier, ended up scoring a run as well. So every Miner today has been on base.
See if David Bermudez is able to get on for his second time today. Big swing there and put away. Or not just yet. That's 1 and 2. Correction. I was a bit early there. So now he gets another chance. Christian Steelhorse also showing off his art skills here. He's a doodling master, in case anyone didn't know. He made a rocket ship out of a guitar. I'm very proud of him. I'm going to hang it on the fridge when we get home, Christian.
Thank you.
Cut out the piece of wood?
Yeah, we're going to cut out the
We're
piece
bringing
of
a
wood.
saw onto live television.
Tell Terry to get the chainsaw.
Oh my
Put
god.
it in reverse, Terry.
I'm sure he'd get one if you asked him.
Oh, he totally would.
I'm sure he's got a connection somewhere.
This one just fouled off, 2 and 2 still. Hopefully our camera's holding up, and it's connected to that fence.
Yeah. Last thing we want is that thing
So lay off,
dropping
David.
off. Bermuda, stop fouling the ball to the screen. 2 and 2 once again.
Starts to offer, and that's going to be strike 3. Said he broke the plane, and now it's going to be Miners down for the top of the 7th. Chinooks getting a chance to maybe close the gap as we get ready for the bottom of the 7th. Make sure you stay right here and take a bit of a stretch. We get ready to sing Take Me Out to the Ballgame here at the ballpark. Sing it along at home as well. ready for the 7th here, and we have Christian Sealhorse joining us now for the bottom of the 7th as he's doing velo charts. Christian, what's something you've seen so far today? Is we also have a new arm on, Evan Floyd.
Whenever the pitchers got ahead, we're successful, but whenever they're falling behind, that's when they're scoring the runs. And saw that early with Wosner, and then Wink had a couple innings like that. But now Floyd's on the mound, and hopefully he can put up a scoreless 7th, maybe 8.
One thing with Floyd that I always seem to notice, he doesn't throw a lot of balls. He's going to make you put the ball in play and get the out that way, if anything, because he's going to keep pounding that strike zone. He starts out there with the fastball, just doing that.
I agree.
Miners defense looking to become locked down here as Hayden Keller's back to the plate. He's going to swing on this one. Ricky Nunez gets there.
Isn't that Wilson?
Oh, yeah, they moved around quite a bit. As Wilson's now in right field. It looks like they might have Patrick Donovan out in center. So some adjustments from the Miners. Moving some pieces around, maybe trying to get some other guys to get some swings in this one before it ends.
First baseman from UC Irvine, number 35, Josh Jack.
Next up is going to be number 35, the first baseman, Josh Sheck.
Where's he from?
UC Irvine.
Oh.
And he takes a big swing there. What's something that you notice as a pitcher when you see a big first baseman coming in there? Because usually they bring a lot of power to the plate.
It doesn't really bother me. I really don't care who's in the box. I mean, I just want to get outs at the end of the day.
I'm pretty sure that's something you got in common with every pitcher on the plant.
I agree.
Floyd, especially right now, looking for his second out. So far on the year, has a ERA just over 3, and just over a strikeout per inning pitch. So you could say he's been efficient, not putting down batters.
There's a lot of Miner fans here tonight.
They've made the travel. It's not too bad of a drive over to Chugiak, considering going over to Anchorage and Kenai is a bit of an ask. But a big swing there, and the put out from Kevin Nakamura to first is good for the second out. I'm sad no one can see that Maurice Landon just nailed a whip here and then almost broke his phone while doing so.
He also got the school Miners.
Yeah, it is a cool jacket, isn't
But
it?
it's definitely
It is
not
a cool
his.
jacket,
But it's
isn't
definitely
it?
not his jacket.
It is
Where are
a
we-
cool jacket. I didn't steal it. Don't think. I didn't steal
No,
it.
not stolen goods.
Your host family's listening. They're going to just take it back. It's all right.
Well,
I
it's
found it.
starting off
It was
with
in
another
my
strike.
closet. It was in my closet. So.
Seems like a lot of the pitchers are down tonight in velocity.
What was that last one registering at?
76. Sliding.
He's getting the swing he wants, though. Leo Harris already behind 0-2, and Floyd has a chance to make this a quick 1-2-3 inning. His breaking ball really seems like it's got some movement on it right now. Chance for the strikeout here, and gets just that. Throws him at the plate, and he's still standing in disbelief. So a quick inning of work, and what can you say that you saw from Floyd there as he just mowed through hitters?
I mean, he commanded the strike zone, only threw one ball that inning, and I feel like that's why he only had 9. Got out of that inning really quick.
So he was able to make it a shutdown 7th. Miner is going to be heading back to the plate as we lead off the 8th. Mercy Rule may be fading into the background of this one, but they still hold a strong lead. Only 2 innings to go. Make sure you stick right here.
Leading off the top
So
of the eighth
leading
for the
off the
Miners,
eighth,
second
it's
baseman,
Holden
Rother.
Breeze. The lineup turns over, and with only 2 innings to go, they're going to just look to put some finishing touches on this one.
Right-hander Reese Lansville on for the Chinooks as we begin the inning as this ball's popped up.
It's a pretty rude greeting as he's just tracked down Colby Ferris. Way to cover some ground there.
Yeah, off the bat, I didn't think he hit it that hard. That ball actually carried a lot, so my apologies. It was not popped up. That ball was flown deep, but able to make the play is Colby Ferris. But the new pitcher on is Reese Lansville, who comes in to the game with 8 games pitched in, 7 innings. He's allowed 5 hits and 8 walks, striking out 6. Comes in with a 6.43 ERA.
Next up is going to be Tyler Wilson, who also had a flyout in his last at-bat. Carried pretty well itself. Maybe looking to just dig in a bit deeper and carry it that last few inches.
Wilson has a couple of RBIs to his name tonight as well.
Starting off with an 0-2, so Lanesville's gotten ahead pretty far in an 0-2 count.
These games for the Chinooks are still really important, even if they can't pull off the win today against the Miners. The Anchorage Glacier Pilots right now are up, and if they win that game, they'll move to 18-17 as that pitches way in. The Chinooks will fall to 19-16. So all of a sudden, after the Chinooks, I believe, had a 4.5 game lead on the Pilots, it's going to be down to 1 if both teams leading their games right now, the Pilots and the Miners, end up winning tonight.
Miners looking to take command of the season series without a doubt, as it's tied at 3 apiece right now, or 4. Is it 4 apiece?
No, I believe, 4 apiece. Yeah, 4 apiece. So the Miners would go to 5-4. Obviously, if they win this game, it wouldn't matter because they'll clinch outright, but they'll look to at least win the season series. They have another game against Chugiak next week. Tyler Wilson does not appreciate that strike 3 call.
Can't catch a break there from the third base umpire. Said he went deep enough, and he'll be walked off by the home plate umpire, who's probably just listening to him complain to himself. But after the ejection we had yesterday, anything's kind of going.
I don't think I've ever seen that. And if I have, it's been very rare. An umpire will walk a player back to the dugout. Interesting.
Casey Rother is next up. He seems to be in good spirits, smiling towards the home plate umpire. Maybe, hopefully no bad blood, because
maybe I'll get thrown.
Hey, set your goals high. If you want to get thrown, get thrown. Don't have to.
There is no barrier here at Lee Jordan Field either. It's us in the box and the backstop. So everything that we're saying, everybody can hear. So
if you ever wanted to really heckle, this is the place to do it.
Stand in the press box.
Come pay extra money for seats in the press box just to heckle. That one taken looked like it could have been high, but that's gonna be.
I think it
okay.
was high. Yeah, I was about to say that.
I was gonna say if they call that a strike, then we might have an issue, and I might start heckling.
No, that pitches out. 3-1 actually. The board had it wrong. 3-0.
Maybe 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0. Yep.
Chance to get on with the walk, and he'll do just that. Had to step back out of the box to simply avoid being hit.
Walk for Rother as he reaches first with 2 outs, and now Nick Sorelli.
Now batting for the Miners.
Surprisingly without a walk today.
Sorelli.
Been to the plate 4 times already. Looking for his first one to go along with the 2 hits he has so far.
Like you were saying, Christian, there are a ton of Miner fans here today. If you look, I stepped out as you came on the headset in the bottom of the 7th, but there is a ton of green and gold around this ballpark.
They travel well for a fan base that packs the house every time we have a home game. They still continue their support whenever we go on the road.
Except for Kenai.
It smells like hot dogs all of a sudden.
I could go for one.
You're making me hungry.
It does, doesn't it?
Are you trying to get
Fred
half
Meyer
off?
sell hot dogs? Let us know.
Put a poll in the chat.
Are you getting half off after this inning?
If only we had time. Another good breaking ball, and that time just falling right over the heart of the plate. That's strike 2.
Miners just 6 outs away on the mound from wrapping up the ABL regular season title. So it just turns out to be one season holdover that they don't get it. They won it in 2018, the regular season title, and the playoffs 2019. They weren't able to win either of them, and then obviously 2020 season got canceled. And it appears right now they at least have the regular season title locked up.
Game's not totally over yet, but the Miners looking to put themselves in a better position to hold on. Not having to travel for the playoffs could mean a huge advantage for a fan base that is undoubtedly the most present out of any of the clubs we visited.
Yeah, definitely. This fan base is the biggest in the ABL by far. I think in Kenai, that last game there, we might have had more people in Kenai than Kenai had. And that's a 4-hour trip.
Sorelli stares at a 2-2. Rother's only a few steps off of first, but this one's put into the gap, and that one's going to get down, no question about it. Still at the wall.
Get going,
Is Rother going to head home? He's going to be waved. He's going to hustle. Throw is not going to be in time. Casey Rother gets all the way around. The third hit for Nick Sorelli is a big RBI double.
Get you a pair, Nick, as he doubles. Again, second double of the day. He's hit the ball really hard today. Able to score that run, and it's 10-3 Miners.
Now batting for the Miners.
So
First
the
pitch.
cleanup hitter doing his job and getting all the dirty work done. 3 knocks on the game at this point. Now that's going to bring up Aaron Walters, hoping to do the same for Sorelli. Sorelli puts the Miners in double digits in the run column. So
I do smell those hot dogs, dude.
it's Christian. I told you, I smell the hot dogs. I'm not losing my
I could go
mind.
for one right now.
Wally's going to try and get on something early.
Foul ball. He'll go back to it.
That foul ball brought to you by Ken McCartney at Discovery Code Recovery and Wellness Center.
Walters in an 0-1. This one way high.
So I did some thinking in between innings. Fred
That's
Meyer,
concerning.
hold on.
You
Are you
shouldn't
complaining
think.
again?
You shouldn't think. We don't pay you to think.
Are you complaining again?
No, I this isn't a complaint. This is a proposition. All right.
To me or Fred Meyer?
To Fred Meyer. If the Miners win the top of the world championship, Fred Meyer brings back like legitimate sub sandwiches.
Oh!
I think
like-
this is a personal effort
No,
for you.
just at like the Palmer look and the Wasilla one too.
Wow.
I don't think that anyone
I
else
don't
really
care.
cares besides you, though.
I care. I care. Dude, Walmart subs are it. I'm telling you.
You ever have
Like in
Sam's
the
Club
deli.
pizza, bro?
Have not, but I've heard good things
Ever
about
had
Sam's
what?
Club pizza.
Sam's Club pizza is amazing.
Very good. And the samples. And
Oh
beer.
yeah. But that definitely seems like more of a your goal. Like you'd be benefiting from the team doing well.
I haven't been to Costco since the pandemic, but I can say with certainty that I really miss their samples, and I also really miss their pizza too.
Their samples were the best part because you just get as many as you wanted.
Back to baseball.
Really?
Yeah, we got a 2-2 count. Wally's still 2 outs in the inning. Chance to
The game-
maybe bring Sorelli
The
home.
game is 10-3, so we have a little bit of leeway.
That one outside again, so 3-2. Wally in another extended at bat. Doesn't have a hit in the game, but he's really made every pitcher on the mound work.
I feel like that tent has moved down the hill in left field. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're kind of right, but I don't know if it's
Yeah,
moving
I'm-
down as much
I-
or to the right.
I
towards the
really don't
trees.
think. I didn't think I was crazy, but I'm just confirming.
And that one's just absolutely blasted off into the right field, but foul ground.
And that had home run distance for Wally. But he'll go back in. Yeah, I swear that tent has moved down like 10 or 15 feet. I'm
Definitely
almost
has.
positive.
Yeah, 3 bears.
Three Bears has really good beef jerky.
I've never
That
been
is
there. I've never been there.
their quality thing.
How much of your mind is occupied by food?
A lot.
It's about 50.
Well, when you get hungry, like that's all you think about. So like, I'm
That's
in that
fair.
state right now.
That's fair.
Really?
And this one's high again, so Wally's taking these extended walks, and now Patrick Donovan gonna get his first time swinging a bat since checking into the game.
He'll pinch hit for Ricky Nunez here with 2 on, 2 out in the 8th as Chris Beck back to the mound to talk to Lansville. Nobody warming up in the pen, so no pitching change, but just going over things here. If Patrick Donovan can somehow get a hold of one, this would be his first home run of the year if he could get it. It would make it 13-3 and give the Miners a chance for the mercy in the bottom of the 8th. This has been a long game.
It has.
2.5 hours so far, and we still got some time to go. Alaska Baseball League games aren't as long as Major League games typically, obviously, because there's not as much of a stoppage in the middle of innings. But
I kind of like the quick turnaround.
Yeah,
It definitely makes the games go fast.
what was the game that was less than 2 hours?
We had one go
It was at home.
156.
It was at home. I can't remember who it was against, though. It might have been the Oilers.
I believe it was the Oilers.
It might have been the Oilers. That was the quickest game ever. We blinked and it was over.
Beep, boop, bop,
I think we scored. I think that was a game we scored like 2 runs in the first and maybe like 1 in the fourth, and it was just like 3-0
It was
the entire way.
It was a pitcher's duel for
beep,
the
boop.
majority of it.
Oh.
And Donovan's gonna send this one up. It's a weak pop-up, and that one's gonna be the third out of the inning. So they do get one across thanks to some Nick Sorelli support, but one is all they're gonna get. We head into the bottom of the 8th. Chinooks up to bat, and Miners looking to hold on to their lead. Make sure you stay with us. Bottom of the 8th, Miners lead by 7, and they're looking to close the door on this one. Evan Floyd back in for another inning of work.
Good breaking ball there as he gets the swing and a miss. Floyd.
That breaking ball has really done work today. 1-2-3 in his first inning, so.
Floyd came into this matchup with 16 and a third innings on the year as he tries to work through his 18th and beyond. Just 6 more outs for the Miners. Time really waning on these Chinook bats.
0-2 count already. Wasting no time getting ahead of another hitter here. Colby Ferris threatening to go down on strikes.
Ferris, obviously a ton of power. He's got 4 home runs this year, but he's in a hole now, and for a guy who strikes out at the clip he is, his strikeout clip on the year is actually between 37 and 122 at-bats coming in.
So Donovan heads over, but Wilson's going to put him away in right field. And Evan Floyd, now 4 straight batters retired in a row.
Pate Fullerton now, the third baseman, and he's had a tough day to say the least, and he comes to the plate trying to avoid the golden sombrero, actually. 3 strikeouts, 0 for 3. If he would get the 4th, he'd get that sombrero to the dome.
I wonder who came up with the word dome to describe head, like to your head.
It's probably just like dome stadiums, right?
Is it? Because there's like the phrase chrome dome too, when someone's bald.
I don't think it would be that. I would guess it would be like the Astrodome or whatever.
You think that's what came to describe
Honestly,
the head
yes.
first?
That ball's flown into center field for out number 2. No, I'm saying like the Astrodome, like dome, like is like the top.
Yeah.
head is obviously the top of your body, so it makes
That's a good
sense.
point.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's a good
saying.
point.
Yeah, that's
You're
my
a wise
whole-
man.
That's you said not to think. My thinking's doing pretty good right now.
I don't know. You might hurt yourself.
You said don't think.
You might hurt yourself.
That's never good.
Don't panic.
2 outs.
Now Miners through most of this one, and Evan Floyd continues to roll. He stayed hot and stayed ahead of every batter, keeping that the case against Joe Keel right now.
Keel trying not to be the last out of the 8th inning.
This one's just flared into center field. Donovan heading back and putting that one away. That was a quick inning. Evan Floyd wasted no time, let his defense do the work, and now we are down to only the final 3 outs for the Chinooks. For that, Miners going to be looking to add on to their lead. 10-3 heading into the 9th. Last inning of work ahead of us. Make sure you stay with us. We're this close to the end.
For sure tomorrow.
We're here in the 9th, and the Miners are ready to put on the last few runs that they can. So
Michael,
far,
even bring the
10
Parmesan
runs in the
cheese.
game, we can't.
Christian Seahorse's Italian mob boss accent is on point.
He's supporting Mike Ferreira at the plate.
What'd you say about the pasta? What was the exact quote?
I'm gonna make some pasta de joke for you tomorrow if you hit the home run right here. Come on, Michael.
Oh, this one's just popped up. Keel looking behind the plate, gonna watch that one get away.
Top of the 9th. Time really waning as the Chinooks have just 3 more outs to play with.
Hey, Michael, make sure you have some fun up there, buddy.
I can't listen to this. The this Italian accent is making me
Is that
laugh
what you would
a little
call
bit.
Italian accent?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, like Italian mob boss type, like Godfather type. We don't have the greatest connection today, so this is more of an informal broadcast, I guess. A little bit. So you can't obviously see all the action, so we gotta bring something.
Gotta have some fun
Yeah.
right now.
Miners just 3 outs away, obviously, so.
2-1 count. Mike Ferreira ahead. Make that 3-1, as the ball's heading right towards us.
I gotta hear the impression if he makes it to first.
I don't know. It's gonna be a problem.
We know it's coming. Just don't know when. Looks like there's maybe some warming up in the minor pen. Can't really tell. It looks like maybe James Aaron actually has started throwing. As there's the
Hey,
walk.
boy, Michael!
Mike takes a walk, his first of the game, to go along with 2 hits. The Miners.
Hey,
adding
Michael,
some
you
pressure.
deserve the Parmesan cheese tomorrow.
And he earned the Parmesan
I
cheese, folks.
really hope you guys can hear what is happening. 1 on, none out, and next up to the plate for the Miners, it's gonna be Kevin Nakamura.
Nakamura is going to get into this one again. It's getting down for another hit. Kevin Nakamura just can't be stopped today. And Mike Ferreira is going to advance to third as well. Just never showed any hesitation rounding second. Runners at the corners, no outs. Miners still piling on.
First and third, I mean, you might as well just pad the stats.
Yeah, it
Doesn't
doesn't,
it?
Kevin's
Kevin Nakamura is
middle
having
name
a
is
huge day.
Kazuo.
it doesn't really matter. We're at the bottom of the lineup. Last inning of the game. They're going to keep just punishing this Chinooks pitching staff.
Nakamura is a triple away from the cycle.
Is he? Yeah, he is actually.
Nakamura is a triple away from a cycle.
Gotta
Unlikely
get
we're
one.
going to see him come back up to
Need
bat.
to bat around and give him the opportunity.
We'll have to see how. We're going to probably mercy rule him before they let him.
Well,
let
no,
him
because
back
we're in
up.
the top of the inning.
I know, but I feel like they would just feel bad.
Yeah.
One and 0, make that 2-0, and that one's getting away. Mike Ferreira is going to score on a wild pitch, and Kevin Nakamura.
Hey,
pulls
boy,
in the second.
Mikey!
Mike quickly back into the dugout like it never even happened. Miners extend their lead to 8. Now 11-3. And they are just playing. They look like the better team from start to finish in this one.
Clearly, I mean, they hit Zach Sundine really well. And the Chinooks, I think you can say with certainty, they left Sundine out there too long. That was part of the issue. The 2-0 pitch is going to miss a little bit, and it goes to 3-0.
So maybe you're going to put another man on as well. Holden Breeze in the on-deck circles now remove the weight. He's ready to take a hack after he was just a few feet short of a home run last time.
3-0 way off.
Bermuda's never even looked like he was wanting to hit it. 4 pitches, 4 balls, another man on, no outs still.
Holden Breeze stepping in the plate, who hasn't hit on the day.
Kind of pointless to get a mercy roll in the 9th inning anyway, but they're setting themselves up to get closer.
What do you think Tony La Russa would say if Holden laid down a bunt here?
Probably the best player ever.
Oh, he might hate on him because you're up 8.
Only,
To me, it's play
only
the
if
game.
it's a 47-mile-an-hour pitch right down the
To
middle.
me, it's play the game. If it's in front of you, keep playing.
Let's start him out with a strike.
0-1 to Breeze.
Talking about the same manager that made a rookie this year nearly retire.
Yeah.
Another breaking ball and another strike, so Holden Breeze at risk of becoming the first out in the inning.
The tent has come down in left field, so apparently
He made them self-conscious,
the
Reese.
Chinooks destroyed that man's spirit. The tent is down. It's next to him as he's sitting just now on the hill without the tent.
No, it's just you. You destroyed him.
I'm not sure why he took it. Like, he's still there. Why would he take it down?
He's probably listening to the stream, and you made him feel bad.
It's like, oh, I gotta take it down now.
They're aware I keep moving. 1 ball on the last pitch means it's 1-2.
You should climb one of those trees and watch the game from up there. Although,
I don't think I would even notice
I
him
don't
if you
know
were
if
in the
that's a
trees.
very good idea to try to climb one of those trees. The trees up here are, like, thin, for the most part. Very thin.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They can survive in some pretty intense temperatures, though. A lot of them wear the furs. As you head into the woods, you got a few past left field.
2-2 on Breeze.
This time he can't wait on it any longer. Finally fouls that one off, and it's going to keep the at-bat alive.
Brought to you by God Guns and Auto.
God, guns, and auto. Hey, guns.
That is an odd sponsor.
Yeah.
As not the combination
I gotta
of things.
say, one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life is we were driving to Chugiak today on the vans, and there was a man on the side of the road trying to sell a rifle.
Like 45 bucks.
$45. A rifle that was made somewhere in China. He had that on the sign. $45 rifle.
And this one's lined into left field. It's going to get down, and as he takes the bounce, he's going to head for home. relay. He's out. Kevin Nakamura was rounding third with no hesitation in him. Casey Sherman sent him home, and they thought they'd get there, but a good relay ends up throwing him out at home plate.
Yeah, that was a really nice play. Hayden Keller relaying that one in, and they were able to get him at the plate. Good send still. I like the aggressiveness, but obviously it didn't pay off.
Well, he took his time. Hayden Keller looked like he was waiting on the ball in left field. Just maybe underestimated his arm there.
So 1 out. Tyler Wilson next to the dish.
With that last hit, Holden Breeze also becomes the 4th minor in this game with more than 1 hit. To say that they are hitting well from top to bottom is a bit of an understatement.
Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop boop. In other games around the ABL, actually the only other game in the ABL, the Pilots still lead the Oilers in the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-0 Pilots. So they have clearly taken a note that they have a chance at hosting a playoff game. There's still, I believe, 5 games left for the Chinooks. Yeah, 5 games left for the Chinooks. Oilers, or the Pilots themselves also have 5 games to play, so taking it personal.
It's looking like it is going to be a battle for second, the way things are going. So, if they take a loss tonight, the Chinooks obviously making a closer race. The Pilots seem to be heading towards a victory of their own. And Tyler Wilson, this is going to be a loud out if it's going to land, and he will get there in center field. Will Batts puts him away for the 2nd out. And that could have likely been a sac fly if Kevin Nakamura hadn't gone home either.
Jared Sweeney coming next to the plate. He's pinch hitting. Sweeney will pinch hit for Casey Rother here in the 9th.
The minors, the junior out of Lehigh, number 28, Jared Sweeney.
Sweeney with his first swings of the night, going to be looking to bring in another run as they've already scratched one across in the frame. Bermudez stands off second, Breeze on first. And this one's going to be shot right past him in first and second. They're going to send Bermudez home, and the throw's not going to get here in time this time around. So an RBI single for Jared Sweeney, wasting no time being effective in this game.
Going right through the hole, Jared Sweeney able to collect his first hit of the day, first RBI of the day, and the Miners continue to add on their lead.
Now a 9-run lead for the Miners, just 1 off of a double-digit deficit. And they're going to have another meeting, so maybe trying to check on him as he's still only 1 out away from ending the top of the 9th. But he has a looming threat at first and third. And Nick Sorelli at the plate, not going to be an easy out. 3 hits already on the game.
Now batting for the Miners, DH number 37.
We'll see if he's able to add a 4th, which would be, I believe, the most hits by any minor in a single game this year.
Yeah, 4. I believe nobody has got the 4 yet. Or no, Casey Rother did get the 4 actually in one game against the Pilots.
Still, pretty elite company to be joining. Lays off the first pitch.
0-1. Miners with a 9-run lead as it looks like Lance Santerra has actually picked up a ball and started throwing in the pen. So Aaron is not throwing it. Appears it's going to be Lance Santerra in the 9th.
Lays off that one. 1-1 now. They used Majors for a close save the other day. Obviously not a save situation with the lead they have, but still want to make sure it's a no-doubter. Riley lays off another pitch. This time it managed to stay straight enough to hit the bottom of the zone for strike 2.
Spaded zone, 9-run lead. I mean, it's a given. So really stepping back in, he'll probably swing at anything close here.
Mansville has what he wants, gives him the pitch, a breaking ball fouled off.
Stay at 1-2. Walters looms on deck.
miners have been sent to the plate plenty of times. This might be their record for at-bats in a game, as they spent plenty of time on the offensive end in this game. A high pitch that time, ball 2.
If it is Santerre in the 9th, it would represent another relief appearance, so he just made those 2 starts early in the year, and he's been full bullpen the rest of the way.
It seems like a good fit for Lance.
Yeah, better fit out of the bullpen, at least this summer for the Miners.
He's got some really explosive stuff if you can keep it in small doses. That one inside. Lance Santerre out for the Miners, looking for their last 3 outs of the game here. Has a pretty comfortable cushion of 9 runs to work with, but he's going to try and make it as quick as possible. Lefty is going to start out with the strike.
3 outs away. Obviously 9 runs to go on the board, so the Chinooks would have to come up with a flurry right away.
In 18 and 1/3 innings pitched, Santerre has 20 strikeouts, but also has 27 hits. Part of that comes from the extended starts that he had where they just started racking up against him, but ever since he's been coming out of the bullpen, I'd argue he's been a more effective pitcher for the Miners.
Ricky Tibbet just got removed from the game in the Pilots-Oilers game.
And this ball's popped up, heading towards the shallow left field, and that's going to be an easy out for Mike Ferreira.
Speaking back to that Pilots-Oilers game, Ricky Tibbet went 5 and 1/3. He only allowed 1 hit, no runs on his line, so he pitched really well.
Surprising they pulled him with that kind of stat line.
His pitch count was getting up. He walked a few, but his pitch count was getting up, and as they close out that series, technically, because one of those games got rained out, it's going to be made up as part of a doubleheader in Anchorage. So that closes out the home slate for Kenai on the year.
And Santerre ahead as well here. Next up to the plate, Will Batts. Will Batts and John Mark Mullins may be the last 2 that can stand between Santerre and these last 2 outs, but Santerre is really taking control here. Ahead 0-2 early. Batts just trying to stay alive at the plate. It seemed like he was definitely the one out of his element, and he is exposed on that low pitch in the dirt.
2 away, 1 more to go, and your Miners will be ABL regular season champions.
Only a 1 year removed like you had said, 2018 the last time they had done it. This team's got high, lofty expectations. It's ring or bust for this squad. This is only just the start for them.
Still a lot of work to be done, obviously, but winning the regular season title and getting home field throughout the entire playoffs is pretty nice.
For that, they have one more out to get, and Santerre just looks electric. Getting ahead of a third hitter, and even with a little bit of contact, he couldn't help but swing and miss at that one. Another low swing, and that's going to be strike two.
One strike away is Lance Santerre.
Not surprising that this has been a culmination of different arms and a contribution from literally everyone in the lineup.
Yeah, on a day where their starting pitcher only went 2 innings. It's not that the first pitcher for the Miners, Rother, pitched bad. He only gave up 1 run in 2 innings, but they've obviously had to go to a lot of different arms, and they've been able to stick it out. This pitching staff deserves a lot of credit today, just like the offense, only 3 runs allowed. 26 wins, and that'll be enough, so they'll have home seed they'll have home field throughout the entire playoffs.
12-3 is your final score here in Chugiak, as the Miners, they started off this one hot, and they've never really looked back. After a big 4th inning where they put 3 on the board, they were in control for the remainder of this one, and because of that, they can now maybe dial things back a little bit for the next week as they ramp up for the playoffs.
Yeah, still 5 more games to play, but it's going to be nice knowing that in your back pocket is the ABL regular season title. And obviously, they're only going to have to play 2 more road games all year, regardless of in the playoffs.
Every single one of the guys on this roster has played their part in getting to this point. Now they have the chance to look ahead at the playoffs and possibly your top of the World Series champs as well. But for today, final score, Miners 12, Chinooks 3, as the Miners run away with this one and the regular